Hi everyone, good morning from Israel. It's a sunny, freezing winter day relative to Israel. I've been to the ocean today swimming, and that's why I'm freezing now. And I put this head on top of my head. And today we are having a very special guest. VIP, very important personality. Please, everyone, welcome the mind. Please sit down. The mind is talking to you right now. I'm talking to you through the mind. The mind is everything for us in the Maya. Is connecting us within and without. That's why it's so difficult to separate ourselves from the mind. Okay, so much it is everywhere and ever present. It is synonymous with life. So people even think that even after life, before life, in this incarnation process between here and the next one, we are thinking, the mindish way of thinking about the life that we have been to and the life that we are going to have, and like sitting in a restaurant and choosing from a menu. What life should I have next? Should I have this lesson or that lesson? Should I do I need to experience some pain this time? No, I don't think so. Maybe, etc., etc. But this is really a projection of being in the body with the mind. Without the body, there is no mind. The mind is a privilege of life. Without life, there is no such a thing. There is only is, the isness. There is no contemplation, there is no choice, there's no choice and there is no oppression, there is only what is. This is the present of life. And Rao Ruhu was asked once, what is the mind? And he said, the gas of the brain. Rao Ruhu, in his penetrative, shocking, putting out his knowing in such a way. I love it. And you really put the mind in its place. Put the mind in its place because the mind is really a byproduct of the brain. A byproduct of the meeting between us and the body. And the brain is of course part of the body that make it impossible for us to experience this amazing machine, this amazing thing to measure. And this is really going deep, the gas of the brain, why we need to put it in its place. Let's look at the mechanics, because the mechanic show us a lot. So we have the body graph, and in the body graph, we have the synthesis of two things, two different body graphs, two different maps, really. And we know we are taking two times. We have really two maps, one at the time of birth, that's the personality moment of birth, and design is 3 months before birth, two calculations. So we have two, one calculation in red is the design 3 months before birth, the body, the physical, revealed to us this vehicle that we are in, together with the personality who we think we are, and together we get this amazing body graph, and we live the synthesis of those things both. But look, we don't call it human personality. Personality is the in the black, yeah, the right side, time of birth, who we think we are. We call it human design. Design is the side of the vehicle, the body, the unconscious. And it's pointing us to the fact that the really human design is taking us back to the body, back to the design, yeah, the design, the vehicle we are in. This is really the story that we ignored, neglected for millennia. Everyone is speaking about the beauty of the spirit and the mind in to express the spirit, but hey, we are in the body and we are really living the life of the body. So no body, no mind, no story. And more than it, here the story starts, but we are saying the color, all this, whatever is defined in our map, yeah, this highlighted, the imprint is our uniqueness and destiny. This is who we are in a sense of what we are here to live, where we are coming from in the sense of consistent energy. And that's the place where we can navigate in our life. We are not here to navigate in the small details of life. We don't need to do anything. The body does it. Yeah, for navigating in this life, and that's the point of the whole knowledge, is that we have a much deeper consciousness than the mind. The mind is the product of the body, and to navigate here, we don't need the mind. Actually, the mind has no idea. He is a guest here, like us. Yeah, we are given this in this package, the mind, that we can express ourselves, but he is part of the guest. Yeah, he is the property of the guest, and he has no clue. For this, we have a much deeper consciousness, the consciousness of the body. We are not here to bother with the small details of life. That's where we miss. And we are saying, and we everywhere, love yourself. But to love yourself, you need to trust your vehicle. Yeah, that's the poenta. Yeah, the point that it's very cruel to say love yourself when you don't follow your body in life, and it doesn't matter how much is your intent. You know, there is the saying, the good intention, I don't remember, the road of good intentions lead to hell, or something like this. But this is what it is. You cannot love yourself unless you find yourself, you find your place in the physical life. And it doesn't matter how much, you make meditation and beautiful energy healing and etc., etc. The moment you get back to life and you don't know how to navigate through life itself, through the body, you cannot trust your vehicle, and then you cannot love yourself. You cannot. If life doesn't go, you cannot find yourself in the body. It's very cruel to say it. So whatever is defined colored in is what's reliable and consistent. This is who we are, the self. That's where we're supposed to navigate through very specific tools that we synthesize from all this amazing data to what we call a strategy and authority. And what we meet, whatever is open in us, is the changing imprint from the outside, is the openness in us, the receptor in us. It's where we meet life, the school, what we are not, what we are, and it's very consistent, fixed, limited in that sense, meet all the possibilities through other people and other situations and energies. And what it is to do with the mind, what it is to do with the mind, one moment, but there is always more openness in our chart, in us, than definition. What we are in these possibilities here is always limited, is always smaller than the openness, than what is around us. Very simple, but we see it very clearly in the map what it is open in us and what it is that's not open. And here we are back to the mind, and the biggest weakness of the mind is its strong dependency on the physiological function of the bioorganism. That takes us to the very beginning of this talk, that the mind is a bioproduct of the body. So, and this is the trap, because it dependent on this bioorganism. It is dependent on the body, because and what does it mean? It means it goes automatically with the genetic imperative, the genetic imperative of the body to survive here is to reproduce with something that is different than us. We are attracted through this genetic imperative to someone who is different than us, than there is some attraction to what is very different in us, to make it possible for a rich genetic pool. We know that a too close, a too narrow genetic pool is a dead end. Brother with a sister is no good kids. They don't bring good children. We experienced it. So the genetic imperative is it's really to take us to, and we are getting attracted to what is open in us, not what we are. We are not getting attracted by what is similar to us. That's boring. We are attracted by what is different than us. And it is the mind because as a byproduct of the body, it follows the body automatically. Having a body, and you are here, and buff, you are perceiving the world. Your antennas, your ears and nose and eyes are with what is different than you automatically. That's that's the trap of the mind. So he is not interested in what we are. He is interested in something else. That's what I need. That's how the perception of the mind. That's what I need. I need to be. I need to be the thing that I can't be. That's the catch, the trap. I need to be the thing that I can't be, and that's not this is a inner inbuilt trap condition. Is not like that's where all the other conditioning built upon, building upon, yeah, in a very creative way in everyone's map. We will see. But that's where it starts. And it doesn't matter how much intelligent. We have no control on it. That's the thing here. We are not controlled that well. Because I see it doesn't mean I will not be attracted by what is different from me. No, it has nothing to do with it. So if we navigate from the mind, we are getting to territories away from our territory, away and further away from our territories. And the mechanics of the human design expose it in such a beautiful way. You know Zen koan. Koan is a question without a rational answer. Its purpose is for contemplation, to go deep into something that you cannot answer with logic. To see, yeah, it's to point you in some direction so you can realize. Zen koan, the most famous koan, is the koan of what is the sound of one hand clapping. The hand is in the air clapping. There is no sound. Yeah? There is no sound. This is, yeah, that's the direction. Now the disciple, the Zen, yeah, the monk, the meditator, has how we can answer it. What is the sound of one hand clapping? He has to hear the silence. He has to hear this sound of sounds. The Koan is putting him in this direction, to go inside, deep, deep. Now, in human design, we have similar thing that I like to call it a koan, the questions for the open centers. Yeah, because we know the mind is hiding in the open center. I mean, they are the seat of the not self mind that is attracted by what we are not and trying to pull us into those territories to decide and navigate from this imperative from this seeking of the not self, of what we are not, and what we cannot be. And the mechanics expose it. Beautiful. Every open center has a question, and the question cannot be answered. It is a koan. And many people, yeah, who are deep into human design knowledge, they think that those questions are very generalized. I mean, because so many people have this center or other person open, so they all have the same question. And I thought so too in the beginning. And then I realized that those questions were penetrating to the energy of this particular center in such a putting out the whole dilemma of this open center, how we are attracted to this territory and what is all about. So I will give you an example. The heart center. Yeah, the heart center. First, Ra used to say that usually it's just a tendency. When this heart center is open, it will be the first within the center's seat of where the condition will go, because it's the center of the ego and the willpower. And we know how important it is in the world, because that's That's where we have this muscle that pumping life and give this sense of self-worth. And the question is, the koan is, are you trying to prove yourself? Are you still trying to prove yourself? Wow, if you have an open ego, this is a big question for you. And there is no need to answer it. This is a question for you. And it's an amazing question because for the open ego is always a theme to try to prove a point, to show self-worth, to show that it can support the open ego. It's always a dilemma. When the mind, we navigate from the mind, it automatically will go there for the heart center. Doesn't matter how nice is the person and how much he think he doesn't improve himself, doesn't try to improve anything, but he will do something to please someone in order to prove a point that he is self-worthy, to show that he is worth something, that it can support something. So deep, it's hard to see. It's hard to see the tip of our nose because it's very close. It's part of our matrix. Yeah, the G center. For example, I will not go over all the centers. The G center, in the middle, the self-identity, direction and love, who we are. Are you trying to find direction and love? Wow, for an open G, what a dilemma. I mean, are you trying to find direction and love, to identify with something in order to feel that you have a solid identity? That's is big, you know. It's always, it shows you in the direction how much you are taking away from your territory. I mean, if you have an open G center, so this is not your territory. I mean, life will take you to the love and put you in the direction that is there for you. But you don't need to find it, you know, who I am. Yeah, it's the obsession of the open G center. Who I am. It's like you are not here to have a fixed identity. You are here to be open to identity. That's your beauty. But you cannot avoid the attraction for it if you navigate from the mind, because that's the mind will go. That's the mind of the open G center will be obsessed with. Who I am. And he will try to find himself. So this is the koan, you know, and the koan of the open spleen. Oh, I know this one because I have an open spleen. Are you holding on to what's not good for you? Yeah, the spleen is the immune system, the spleen center, the immune system, the survival awareness. If it's open, well, I don't have a definition that defines my survival awareness. And if you would ask me before, are you holding on to what's not good for you? For me, I would say no. I've always been a health food stores lover, you know, health food lover, and looking for a healthy environment and doing good things to my body, and I'm not this type of person. Really, but that's the point. It took me time to realize, took me years to realize that I have no clue what's healthy for me. That's why I'm so obsessed with it. Because even with the good food, the best, healthiest food, it's really hard for me to know when to eat, when not to eat, how much to eat, timing, because the awareness, the spontaneous awareness in the now of what's healthy and what's not is not there. So are you holding on to what's not good for you? Yes, I'm holding on. I'm in rehabilitation now. Yeah, the more I'm surrendering to the body, it happens, the less unhealthy I am. I don't have a direct. Yeah, I cannot say, oh, from now on, I'm not holding on to anything that is not good for me. It doesn't work that way. We have no control with the mind. That's the whole point. To give up the control of the mind, to fall into the control of the body, and that's the real control. We are a guest of the body here, and then it will release what we are not, slowly, slowly. Yeah, that's what I am here to learn. What's healthy for me? I don't know. That's why I'm holding on, because my mind is attracted to it. And can you imagine? Yeah, can you imagine a baby with an open spleen, with a mother, a mom with a defined spleen, and the defined spleen gives this feeling, this sensation of well-being in the body. It's a strong immune system, and at the same time, it is the center, the awareness center that is fueled through the survival fears. That's what make that's what define it. The fears of survival make it strong, strong alert to survival issues. So this baby feels with an open spleen. The open spleen doesn't feel good in the body naturally. It needs to take care of it. It doesn't have a strong laundry machine, so he feels very attached to, very good with the mom. She gives him this splenic well-being, and at the same time he feels more afraid because she highlights the fears of the spleen centers. Whatever is through her definition and his definition, she pops. So he feels better with her and more afraid, so he's more clinging to her. Yeah, it's hard for him, for this baby, to leave his mom, and the more he is with her, the more he is afraid to leave her. Yeah, that's the spleen. Yeah, the dilemma. Are you holding on to what's not good for you? Not every well-being, not every defined spleen is good for you, or not in the dose. Yeah, how much? That the mind can never know. That's why the authority in human design is never the mind. Yeah, and the last example is the sacral center, the life source, energy. Do you know when enough is enough for every open sacral? Do you know when enough is enough? I have an open sacral, I'm a projector. Do I know when enough is enough? Whew. Sometime I know I'm learning. It's my school. I'm learning to listen to my body, That's those are amazing quants, that the body graph reveals to us. And we can look at real people, how the mind go into those open centers and deceive us. And let's look at Hillary Clinton. Originally, I did this talk in Hebrew exactly on election day. And I thought is an interesting talk worthy of doing in English too. And Hillary Clinton wanted so much to become the president. And she is even an open generator. So sorry. She's even a manifesting generator with the channel of leadership. She has it, yeah. She has it within her, the leadership capacity. But look, she has an open ego. And the open ego, you remember? Are you still trying to prove yourself and improve yourself? Oh yeah, I want so badly to be the president. Yeah, I want to prove that I'm good. I'm good like Bill. I can be a good president. That is clear that that was so. It's a totally look. It's a totally open ego center, heart center, and it's no doubt it was pushing her in a way that's unhealthy for her, because the spleen that we just talked about is also open, and she doesn't know what's healthy for her, and she's holding to what's not healthy for her, which in this case was very clearly to run, to stay, to participate, to start within this race to become the president when it was unhealthy for her body. I mean, it's very clear she was having something more than lung, don't remember, lung problem or something like this. And but she was holding on to it. And all those open center teams, they ganging us on us. They gang up on us together, the themes. So it's trying to prove that if I would continue with what's unhealthy for me, I will, yeah, and I will open a solar plexus center, and I avoid truth and confrontation with the truth that is not the right time for me to run to be president, in spite of my will, my open will, my thought. Yeah, it's not the right time. And the open root center, and I'm in a hurry to prove that through doing something unhealthy for me and avoid the truth, I can fulfill this thing that is irrelevant for me. You see, the open head center, are you still engaging in answering irrelevant questions for you? Yeah, someone else's question? And for her to become president was irrelevant. Irrelevant. Because she was unhealthy. But she was trying to prove herself in spite and holding on to something unhealthy for her, avoiding the truth, and in a hurry to fulfill it. Yeah, that's how they were working. Those are the teams. Yes, those are the teams. Those generalized teams are so deep running our life, because she's a very powerful manifesting generator. So what will be her response? Yeah, that's her inner authority. That's her strategy first to respond. And in the response, we can hear her sacral sound. Is it right for you, Hillary, to run for presidency now? But she never gave us her sacral truth. Yeah, so we will never know. I just see, yeah, it looks that something was, yeah, the way her eyes, something, it was not very satisfying, this whole thing, obviously. So, yeah, the truth could help her first, herself. She was not very charismatic. Yeah, that was the whole complaint, that she was not charismatic enough, and and she is defined, her sacral channel that define her as a manifesting generator is the channel of charisma. So she was not following it. She was following all the voice of the mind in the open centers. And we have another example. It's a different configuration in the chart of Angelina Jolie, another celebrity. And here we have a split definition. A split definition that we have two separate areas of definition in the map. And in Angelina Jolie's case, we have a single gate that will bridge them. And in that case, the mind will go to the open gates that will bridge the splits. Yeah, not to the centers, also to the centers, but first it will go to the bridging gates. And let's look at the bridging gates of Angelina Jolie, and we will see the story. And it's amazing when we see Raoul used to laugh about it, not to laugh, really to say that when we see a person, we see the not self. We see because most people, they live through what they are not, through the openness in their design, because that's what's they perceive as lacking in them or what they need. So the bridging gates in Angelina Jolie, and my eyes immediately go to the gate 27 in the sacral, the gate of nourishment, the gate of caring. That's the gate of caring, nourishment. That's the archetype mother, the powers, the sacral power to raise and care for our offspring. So Angelina Jolie was adopting kids from all over the world and raising them. This is not who she is. That's the openness that will make her feel whole. And there are other bridging gates. There are potentially other bridging gates that join this theme of let's care, let's adopt them in order to find fulfillment. Gate 30, the gate of the clinging fire. That's it's on the solar plexus, on the emotional center. That's the experience I need. I recognize as the experience I need and I cling to. It happens. The fire is of the solar plexus, clinging to this experience of adopting kids. 55, still on the solar plexus, the gate of the spirit, the abundance of spirit. I want the full cup. And to experience the full cup of the spirit, of my spirit, I need to have this experience of taking care for those kids. You see how that becomes the life. And again, there's a few more gates. There's many potential bridging gates that they're all ganging up. Gate 52, the gate of inaction, is the energy that keeps still and staying power to stay with this trip that is not me. and gate 42, the power sacral. It's very motorized being, Angelina Jolie. Very powerful. She has all the 4 motors defined. And the gate 42, the gate of growth. That's what I need. I need to pump this energy, the sacral energy, to develop this trip, to keep it, to bring it into fruition, to take it all the way. This trip of raising kids. And 57, the last one, and the fear, the intuition that fueled from the fear of tomorrow, of survival for our species, for the those kids for the now, in the now. That's I need the intuition what to do in order to survive tomorrow. And it's all, you see, it's all those are the bridging gates. And of course, the center of her stage is this gate 27, raising, adopting, taking care for those kids. And this is not who she is. She has a lot of other qualities. You see, she's a very powerful person. But the life, the mind takes us to what we are not, and that can be a tragedy. That may have been, now I'm speculating, I have no idea, but that may have been the thing, or one of the things that were a burden on the relationship with Brad Pitt. Probably he has his own not self theme as well, of course. He was attracted to something else that was not him. And you bring not self with not self, and you got a not self, an unworkable situation. So here is the minds, and we are used to educate our kids to navigate in this world from the mental realm, from the mind, to think what we want to do, to plan what we want to do. The clever, the smarter we are, the more the more equipped we are to deal well with our life. And education is good, but making decisions from the mind is a poison for us, because the mind can never tell us the truth when he is in authority to decide, to manage it, to run it, because he has to in every situation he has to deal with so many survival things. So he's just going crazy because he's not the body. He's not this machinery, this simple machine, not simple machinery of Earth. So he needs to think about what will be best for me. So he will never tell us the truth. He will think, he will try to cover up for something in order to. The moment we are giving him this authority to save us in our life, to navigate us in our life. So he will not tell the truth, he will try to save us. He will try to cover up for something we think or we want, or to push us in with some agenda. Oh, with this, I will get some opportunity. This way will get me somewhere with this person. Oh, don't say this because that might be dangerous, or this person might dislike you, and etc., etc. And there, and it always will go. The moment you answer someone from your mind, when you give it the authority, you don't know the whole thing. You don't know what is your truth. That's why we are guests. That's why we call this whole thing is a passenger consciousness. Let the body speak through everyone in a different, unique way, has his own strategy or authority that will reveal the wisdom of the body to say what's right for me, what's healthy for me. That is my truth. It's not the absolute truth. Absolute truth in the body. Why we need absolute truth in the body is we came here to to bring consciousness into form, to find it, and so we are not used to hear the truth because we are trying to run our life from the mind, and the truth can be shocking. We are not used to hear the truth. We are used to deceive other people with all good intentions. We are trying to say the best, what we think will be the best for us in this situation, what we think will be the best for them in this situation, and we really deceive everyone. We don't give the truth because the truth is in the body. That's why Ras said that the mind is the gas of the brain. That's why it has no idea. And we are so unused to it. It's so shocking. I will give you an example. My daughter, 11 years old, we raise her as a generator. And one evening, she forgot to close the closet in the bathroom, and I used to go there at night without turning on the light. So I went there and I ran straight. It's a top closet, and I ran straight into the corner of the door that was left open by my daughter, straight into here. And I went in a big force. I went there with all my energy, boom, like this, and puff. And it was a very, very powerful knockout. And I really had a small concussion for a few weeks. And when it happened, I was like screaming in pain and frustration because I realized that now I will have to rest and recover from this. It's a strong, it got me. And I was upset with her at that time. And after, I was worried that she will not feel guilty because of this. Yeah, why? So I went to her and asked her, Iris, when I got this hit in my head, I screamed and screamed on you too, why you left it open, etc., etc. And it's not your fault. Everyone could have forgotten this door open, and I could have turned the light on, at night, which I don't like, but it's just what it just happens, And so, do you feel guilty about forgetting this door open? So she looked at me and said, no, I don't feel guilty at all. Actually, when it happens, when it happened, I didn't, and you were screaming, I didn't hear what you're saying because my mind was somewhere else. My mind was thinking, oh, are we going to miss the planned program for tonight? Because I was going to bring the computer to watch together some movie. And she was waiting for the movie. And she realized that if I'm in bad shape, she might not have this great program, and especially if I'm upset. So she said, oh no, I was not thinking about it. How she said it was shocking because she said it straight. No, I was not thinking at you at all. And I was thinking, oh, you didn't think about me. Inside, my mind was going, oh, you didn't think about me at all. I was in such a pain, and you didn't bother at all. But that was her truth. I mean, what to do? The truth is not always nice, but it's the truth. Nevertheless, it's always better to know the truth. It doesn't mean that she's uncaring. In this situation, yes, she didn't care. But in other situations, she might care. So it was shocking. We are not used to hear the truth. So but it didn't bother me, I was happy. I was happy. It took me just few seconds of shock, and then I was okay with her. And it's amazing. And it really, people who don't surrender to the body, to their, where is their real authority, their inner authority, where it is. The mechanics shows it, yeah, but we have to follow. And through the strategy, to connect with this place. And I discovered that even people that I love, they cannot give me their truth if they don't surrender to their body. The body doesn't lie. The body doesn't lie. The body tells it the way it is. But if they are not willing to go there, if they're not, and it's not easy to go there, it's scary to go there, oh, do I love you or not, or whatever, that's the drama of the mind. But it can be shocking to us what we think we want and we need, and where the truth is, where the limitation might be, etc., etc. The truth of the body might be somewhere else. So it's sad that some people I love cannot give me the truth. I cannot get from them because they they don't give me whatever it is that reveal the truth, in their process. The sacral sound, for example, they will not give me. They will give me an answer that is just a make-up answer of the mind. It's very, very interesting. So we never show our real face. Yeah, humanity, when we meet people, usually 99.999, even the good people, they don't give us their truth, because that's how we communicate, through the mind. But we don't go to the place to answer, the real place to answer. Yeah, that I saw on Facebook. Just just added it to, the mind. It can go places. It make us so stupid. Yeah, where the further away from the mind, from our body, we become so stupid. No, tell people there is an invisible man in the sky who created the universe, and the vast majority will believe you. Tell them the paint is wet, and they have to touch it to be sure. Yeah. And this is everywhere. That's why, in the old mystical way, everywhere they were, especially in the East, where there were traditions of very deep meditations practice, there was this famous concept of no mind. No mind, which is, from our understanding, this is not possible while having a body to have no mind, because a mind is part and parcel that comes with having a body. So, but they were not playing around. They meant business to the mystics, the old way of the mystics. They meant no mind. Yeah, they meant you have to die to this life totally. You have to transcend this plane totally. And because there was nothing to do in this plane, in the Maya, you have to transcend money. You have to, the Maya, transcend the mind and the Maya to all together and get back to the source, to enlightenment through the path of no mind. Real death. There is This is no joke, there is many famous stories like Bodhidharma, the famous teacher, the founder of Zen, that Zen Buddhism, that he refused to accept a disciple, a student. He refused him again and again, and he said, "You're nothing. You can't do it. You can't follow it." And one day, the story goes as they stand both of them in the snow in winter, and this student asked him again and again. Bodhidharma refused him, and then he cut his arm, and offered him as a gesture of sincerity. And then he was accepted, and he became a very big Zen master himself along the way. So this was amazing, yeah, and that was led to amazing mystical experience, yeah. But this is no more the name of the game. This road is getting closer because life wants us to bring consciousness into the Maya, into the form, into the dance of the form. And human design represents this new knowledge, expose this new paradigm, and we say no mind authority. We don't go all the way to get out of this life that was given to us. We are saying no mind authority. Yeah, we give discount. It's a sales now. We are, for those people, for those the real tough people of the past, we are just spoiled. And it's true. In their eyes, we are spoiled, and we know, yeah, because we are still just moving from the old to the new, so we can see it through their eyes too, to see how the generation is getting softer and softer. They can't do anything anymore. No discipline, no outside discipline anymore. No mind authority. And that's the beauty of living in the form without the authority of the mind. Saying bye-bye to the mind. The mind is here, is talking to you right now, but it's not the way to decide for my life. And people come and ask and tell me, yeah, no mind authority, surrender, but we need to do this and that, and some things we have to do. What do you mean surrender to the body? What do you mean? And I tell them, what do you mean you have to? Who said so? Who said so? That's exactly the experiment, to dare surrender to ourselves, And of course, the mind comes with all kinds of stories. If I will not do, who knows this body, where it will take us, and I have a kid to feed. So do you think that the body is not aware that you have a kid to feed? Is better aware of all our survival concerns than the mind will ever be. That's his domain. So when the body decides, it's not a decision that is going to ruin us, not at all. It might not be what we think we need or what we wish, etc. Yeah, that's true. But is the healthier decision that will keep us on our track. But we have to experiment. We have to let go of we have to, that's the way it is. I mean, when it comes to survival, yeah, that's exactly where people are. The mind is taking over, is nourished by the fears. Yeah, no one teaches to decide decisions through what is colored in us, through our body, yeah? Yeah, the body, the body, although it has black and red, is really taking us to the red, to the chemistry of the body, the inner authority, all the five centers that can be inner authority. There are five centers that connect us to some chemistry or other of the body. So even if it's defined through the black, which is who we think we are, in the synthesis, it connects us to the chemistry of the body, to the design, to the red, to the vehicle. No one teaches something like this, yeah. It's and the mind, yeah, it's like fuel, the fuel of the open centers, yeah. He loves this, yeah, and he makes up meaning and purpose for all events and create our mental story. So much afraid from this, facing our choiceless, yet choiceless truth of our body. Yeah, that can bring these fears, deep fears of nothingness or purposelessness. Yeah, that the mind doesn't want to face, doesn't want to give his ruling, yeah, his throne of our life. It's yeah, it's simple but not easy to follow. It demands discipline, and this is not a discipline from outside. This is a discipline from within, from our following ourselves, really to follow ourselves. It can take many shapes and many different. Yeah, there is no some dogma from the outside, but it requires really to follow. How many times I find myself ignoring my inner authority, which in my case is the emotional process, and it feels one way, but the mind is already, this is the way, and you want this, or you need this, or you invested in this, and you almost like put it under, you put my feelings under the carpet. Oh, just a moment, wait, there, that's the way for me. The emotional clarity that comes over time in my emotional process, that's what shows me the way. I know it now. I know it. It is verified in my life experience, but it needs discipline. Yeah, the mind is only interested in fear. That's what he runs on. That's its fuel. Not to run after life, not to run after love, after intimacy, after career. The mind, I have to do something. Who said so? Life happens, and the body has its way. The body wants to have everything. Yeah, he's not going to take you to a remote island nowhere and leave you there. Don't worry, unless unless it's in your way, yeah. But then it will be okay for you. So what is the mind? This is the potential to measure the unique expression of consciousness, yeah, to express our uniqueness perception, and to think about it. This is amazing. Yeah, that's can be a blessing. Now the joy for me to be able to communicate to you. That's the mind. Yeah, it is an outer authority. The mind is an outer authority for you, and your mind is an outer authority for me. My mind is never your inner authority. Yeah, it's not the place for you to decide. It's my mind. It's my authority. For you, it's always outer, but it can be inspiring. I do hope it is inspiring. Yeah, just like it's time for, yeah, Rauru, who used to say it, it's time the ships to take off their costumes, not to show their teeth. It's to show the colors that behind this same woolen thing there, everyone has a different color. People sing, in outside in the world, people always sing the truth of others. We hear everywhere on Facebook, everywhere, people sing the truth of others. But that's the whole trip. That's our own authority, that we have something that's real, that we experience it through our very unique perspective that no one else has. So, you know, let the sun shine, let the sun shine in, let the sun shine in. Oh, that was horrible. Okay, so bye and love from me now.